Hello from your favorite Grasslands PR team. We're back with another, I don't know if this counts as a reason why these overlooked and underappreciated ecosystems are objectively the best biome, but it is a fun episode wherein we're going to try to fool each other about slightly grasslands-related topics. Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, I'm Alan, and I'm hoping that we'll find some reasons why we love grasslands while talking about this nonsense.
No. Okay.
Yes. I'm Nicole. And to clarify, we are playing a game. We are playing Two Truths and a Lie. So we are going to try to stump each other by sneaking in one lie into a group of truths.
Yes.
And it's going to be good.
Yeah. We divided up topics this time. I have bugs.
I have birds.
I have birds and bugs.
This is shaping up to be spectacular. I guess, do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Rachel, we would love for you to start.
Oh my goodness. Okay. You know what I love? NPR game shows.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also love stumping Nicole. And I thought, what better way to stump Nicole than to talk about bugs as a current event in the news with a sort of bluff the listener style story time of 3 bug-related stories, one of which is completely made up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. This feels like a wait, don't tell me kind of a thing. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Let's go. I like it.
I'm not as good of a writer, though. So, this is,
I won't have it.
So what I have for you today is 3 stories of insect invasions.
Okay.
And we're going to start in Argentina.
Beautiful.
Why are you already laughing?
I don't know. I have a really bad poker face, so I need to make sure I laugh equally.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so just the fact that she laughed at the top of this one doesn't mean it's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe.
She really just cannot contain herself. That's important to know about Rachel.
Yes.
Okay. All it took was a heat wave
Uh-huh.
and some rain.
Mm-hmm.
And last December, this is how it started. The perfect conditions to breed, literally, the perfect beetle. Not a few, but millions.
Ooh.
Yeah. And once they emerged, they descended upon the small town of Santa Isabel in the Argentinian province of La Pampa. As they descended upon this town in vast quantities, they searched for one thing: a dark place to hide. These beetles are called cascarudos, or teredo beetles. Fun fact, if you Google teredo beetle, you will find like some kind of anime bot, which is not what this is. This is...
Thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome. These are bull bugs, quote unquote, and there's a lot of species of bull bugs, so I really couldn't figure out which specific species this involved. But the important thing to know is that they are a scarabid beetle. Okay. They are brown, they are round, they are hefty and chunky, and while harmless, leadership in the town warned the residents that they posed a serious hazard to your body and to the town itself. So,
seems like a mixed message. Okay.
They fell like hail from the sky, colliding with windshields and roofs and streets and heads. In gas stations, their sheer numbers filled gutters and drains. A solid log of beetles inside the drain pipes, compacting. They burrowed and piled into the crevices of roofs, and the weight of the millions and millions of beetles caused ceilings to collapse. Not even the local authority was safe as they burrowed into the police station's roof, destroying state property and deeply upsetting the local police officers.
Like we're going to charge the Beatles with that. Oh, now they've destroyed state property. Okay.
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah.
Reporters advise that they can collide violently with anything that crosses their path, and recommended that residents cover their face and eyes when they went outside to avoid impact.
Okay.
They shut down the street and public building lights for 3 days and nights to attempt to rid themselves of this plague. Nearby towns even added drums of fire, trying to coax the Beatles to a mass grave. One local official said he hoped they would get the message, quote, "Go away, find another town." The blackout was effective, and the Beatles finally ebbed away, apparently having been drawn to the town in the first place by all of the nighttime lights.
Interesting.
The end.
Beautiful.
Okay, so the tale of Santa Isabel being besieged by Torito beetles,
Which is not an anime mecca, by the way.
Yep, I don't know that it needed to be clarified twice. This would be a very different story if it was.
Yeah, terrifying.
So, Nicole.
Yes. I had to hear all of them. I'm not going to say if this is true or not.
No, I want to know what are your first impressions of this story?
I mean, so last time I feel like it was tricky because, like, is the one lie in there that the roof collapsed, but everything else is true? Like, is it that kind of a...
That's the part that got
Yeah.
me. Like, beetles, even millions of beetles, I don't know that it's going to collapse a roof.
Yeah. So, like, is everything else true, but that's a lie? So, therefore, this whole story is made up, which is what
Yeah.
you said at the beginning would be our clarifier for, made up stories. But
Right. Is there, like, just like, is it a mostly true story with just like one grain of lie, or
Yeah.
vice versa?
yeah,
A mostly lie story
which
with a
I
grain
can't
of
focus that
truth.
long to try to find one piece of lie.
No, I
a
gotta
story,
say that
but-
roof thing did throw me. But and I don't let me interfere with your thought
I
process.
mean, you're gonna get the lie too. You have to guess too.
I will.
Okay.
I'll get it wrong because I'm not but I'll guess.
I
yes.
mean, these are ridiculous stories. I don't think I don't think me liking bugs gives me a head up in these stories.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
gonna guess.
Yeah, that's right.
How large is a Torito beetle? Are we talking like June bug size? Are we talking
Oh, no, they're
like
bigger than that. They're like this big.
Ooh, boy, yeah, okay. Like those
Like big
Japanese
dung
horned
beetles.
beetles that we get here also.
Hercules
They're
beetles
just
and things.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Well, and
you
again,
just hear them banging into your windows like when they're yeah. Large. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
Hefty boys. Interesting. Millions?
millions.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The next story that I have for you is an invader of the bee variety.
Oh.
Now, normally when you think of bee invasions, you think of things like honeybees. For example, the honeybees that swarmed New York Times Square very recently, and 25,000 of them had to be removed. In this case, the bees that descended upon this small Pennsylvania town had a recognizable shiny black butt
Okay.
of a carpenter bee.
Okay. Okay.
They became a common sight this summer. They smacked relentlessly into the windows of homes, terrorizing the residents of Spring City. And while obviously the fear of stings loomed over the 3,500 residents, the real terror came from the property destruction once again. Now, again, there are multiple species of carpenter bee, and I don't know which one this was, but carpenter bees bore into wooden structures. Their ideal locations for nests are timbers and siding, and when they burrow into these structures, it weakens the wood and leaves unsightly holes and stains. Now, normally this is a bit of a nuisance if you are, say, a Kansas resident with a couple of carpenter bees. But this year, worst of all, their favorite target is sound, undecaying wood, otherwise healthy and strong. While the unprecedented heat and humidity led to a boom of these insects, the pure abundance unfortunately led to another boom: woodpeckers.
Okay.
Quote, "It's like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds," said one resident.
Okay.
Tinfoil on chimneys, Vapo Rub on porch posts, sparkling streamers hang from the trees. Nothing stopped the descent of woodpeckers onto the town,
Okay.
whose numbers seemed to skyrocket with this new food source. All of these woodpeckers only compounded the damage as they excavated every wooden structure they could find, searching for more of these morsels. One resident's old unpainted porch collapsed on one side as the structural damage from the bees drilling caused it to collapse. The elementary school held a fundraiser to repair the damage to the beams in the attic. By the time the school had noticed, hundreds of bees had exploited an entrance into the attic and taken up residence in the elementary school. But the one silver lining in all of this chaos was that nobody was stung. That I could find.
Not a single sting.
Not a single sting.
That you could find, implying
That I could find.
that
There
this
might
is
have
a
been
true
a
story.
There might have been a sting. But not because the bees are being mean, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nicole, let's break this one down. Small Pennsylvania town attacked by carpenter bees, and then subsequently woodpeckers.
Yeah.
Does that stretch the limits of believability a little bit to you? I don't know. Like woodpeckers en masse descending, and I don't know.
But if you're reading something out of a news article, that seems like a very reasonable headline,
That's a good point.
Like, there was 3 extra woodpeckers in town that year, and people are like, whoa!
Well, they're everywhere. Yeah, right. Like there's one banging on the side of my house because there's some carpenter bees, and now it's like
I'm noticing them.
It's a nuisance.
Because, yeah.
That feels in line with how a lot of like wildlife journalism goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like not. A bit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Embellished?
Yes. Perfect. Again, I really feel like I want to dive into the details of this.
I feel like there's just one
think...
sentence that's wrong. Like, Rachel paused before saying, and then carpenter bees who only go after fresh wood. And is that the lie,
Yeah. Do they actually prefer like moldering wood? Do they?
I mean, most insects do, but honestly, I can't remember with carpenter bees.
Yeah, would carpenter bees go for like, I don't know. It's a good question. Are they going for like fresh, nice, crisp 2x4s, pressure treated? Rachel's struggling to not reveal anything. Here's the other thing that stood out to me. The elementary school? Bees in the attic of the elementary school.
In the old attic with, rotten timber. Yeah.
I mean, okay, first of all, like, call me crazy, but I don't know that I've been in an elementary school where there was like a lot of wood. You know what I'm saying?
That's like, a really
I feel
good
like
point.
Those things are built
it's probably fake.
They're like built out of cinder blocks. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? They're like brick. They're like solid buildings.
Sure,
like they're not going to get carpenter bee infestations in elementary schools.
I mean, but it's a small town.
Well, I know, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's like an old timey this is like this is our schoolhouse from 1850.
Doesn't mean it's not.
Okay, 3,500 people probably has a decent sized elementary school.
Yeah.
So. Just saying, something is weird about that to me.
Okay.
Are you ready for my final story? Sure.
Okay.
Our final invasion is an invasion of cannibal crickets.
Fun.
The Mormon cricket
Mm-hmm.
is not a cricket. It's a katydid. I just want to say that just to lead this story off.
Mm-hmm.
And these insects live in rangeland and scrubland of the Southwest, where they're stinking, hulking masses
Stinking. That's just rude.
took
That is
over
weird.
the Nevada town of Elko.
Okay.
The enormous red bugs blanketed buildings and roads, and their worst qualities were their stench
Yeah.
and their thirst for cannibalism.
I already 100% believe this story. I don't need to hear anymore. Just the description of cricket smell. If you like, okay, we care for live reptiles, and so like
Cricket smells bad.
the cricket smell is horrible.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Not great.
Once again, not crickets though.
No,
Katydids.
katydids,
Well,
sure.
sure.
But tomato in this case, it's all probably smells horrible. So yeah.
Now, Mormon crickets are normal for this part of the country. They are named, after all, for destroying the crops of Mormon settlers. And these insects emerge year after year. This year, once again, the heat and humidity, which seems to be increasing from these news articles that I've read and seems to be causing unprecedented disasters everywhere, caused an unprecedented disaster for the town of Elko. Instead of destroying crops, these Mormon crickets destroyed the daily life of innocent citizens. The stench that clings to these animals is so foul, so horrible, it's likened to the stink of burning flesh.
That's a little dramatic.
That's a bit much. Yeah.
Even while driving in their cars, residents had to plug their nose just to go about their daily life. The carcasses stuck to tires, the bottoms of shoes, and left a slimy, treacherous hazard on roads and pathways throughout the town. Highway authorities erected signs warning residents and drivers of the slick highways where the mass grave site of insects attracted more and more cannibalistic crickets
Oof. Okay.
into the path of cars, creating a never-ending soup of viscera on the roads.
Ooh. All right.
One
I feel like
hospital.
there should have been a trigger warning for insect gore here. This is some rich language.
One hospital in Elko hired new staff just to clean crickets out of the way for patients to enter the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Some residents resorted to desperate measures: pressure washers, leaf blowers. Nothing lasts. Nothing is permanent. The only solution to the invasion of crickets was to endure. To cover your nose and to turn on four-wheel drive. The end.
The end.
Well, I know that one's fake because no hospital would ever hire more staff to make anyone's life easier. So
They would totally hire.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
In the face of a crisis, they would totally hire.
Yeah, maybe they would try, but no one's going to take. Hey, do you want to join us on our cricket cleaning squad? Will you join us doing that for $10 an hour?
Yeah, get out there when the ambulance shows up, turn on the leaf blower to get the crickets out of the way.
So they don't slip getting, the guy out the back.
Yeah,
Poker face.
that seems a little absurd. I would also say curious how when we get a couple carpenter bees in an elementary school, we also get a plague of woodpeckers. But when we get billions of Mormon crickets hopping around, devouring themselves, just turning the town of Elko into a absolute splatterfest nightmare. Nothing shows up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They smell like burning flesh.
Okay. All right. But here's the deal. All right. The Mormon crickets, right? Famously, weren't the Mormon crickets that like when they did like the crop devouring, weren't they in turn like devoured by seagulls? And that became like
Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Yeah, but didn't like seagulls become like a significant, like in one of the southwestern states, like seagulls are like, this is a thing, okay?
I believe you.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking
No.
about? This is a thing that happened.
Wait, no, I
like
totally encountered this.
There's like a plague of like crop destroying, insects, and then like seagulls showed up to save the day. And so where were the seagulls in this story?
Oh, I actually have heard of this.
Yeah.
I went to a Mormon museum and yeah, okay.
See?
Fascinating.
Yes.
Calm down, man.
Also talk about the thing that Mormon crickets do when they lay eggs, because it's interesting.
Me?
Yeah, or anybody.
I mean,
Bug expert?
since you know, go for it.
No, they just like stab their ovipositor into the ground and like pump some eggs out. It's cool. It's weird.
It is weird, yeah.
That's just a fun fact, to make this story more horrifying. You can also think about them,
Injecting themselves into the ground
to
all around.
emerge again
Yeah.
in the next year.
Yeah,
Start this whole nightmare all over again.
it's true.
Amazing.
Poor Elko, Nevada. Well, guys, which story do you think is fake? Let's collect your votes so that we can move on to brighter, greener pastures.
Okay, so we've got, to review, the Torito beetles assaulting St. Isabel, Argentina. We have a small unnamed town in Pennsylvania.
No, it was Spring City.
Okay, you didn't say that.
I
did.
think so. I think that sounds familiar.
Okay.
If I didn't say it, it was Spring City.
Okay.
Population 3,500.
Okay. Carpenter bees raising Spring City to the ground. And then Mormon cricket nightmare. I'm gonna say that number 3 is not true.
Yeah. I mean, it could go either way, but I feel like it's too ridiculous to not be true.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
But it's kind of one of those things where you think about it too long, you're just going to
I know.
run around in circles.
I'm kind of waffling between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That's the lie. I'm gonna go with 3.
I'm going to go with 2, just
okay.
to be different.
Okay. You're probably right that it's 2. I should have listened to the elementary school thing. And that woodpecker nonsense.
Yeah, of course Rachel would pick, a bug story that has to do with birds.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
very true. Okay. All right, Rachel.
Well, first, let me say that you are both correct that the first story is true.
Okay.
There is just one picture of the millions of beetles collapsing roofs in this town.
That's pretty shocking. That's a lot. That's funny. All right.
Number 3 is a true story.
Gross.
It went viral on TikTok, and the residents kept making jokes about it on TikTok and saying the only way to get through this is to have a sense of humor because it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Gross.
Here's a picture of the crickets invading one road.
Gross.
Yikes.
They did have highway signs warning of the hazard of slick roads because of all the viscera. Which means
Lovely.
that Nicole is right and the woodpecker story is fake. The things I said about carpenter bees are true, and woodpeckers are their number one predator.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just fun.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to have a bunch of woodpeckers. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
doesn't sound right.
A plague of, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but like you said, birds are attracted to stuff sometimes. There was an Australian
Yeah.
Open that got descended upon by seagulls because the beetles were too intense and it postponed some games.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, usually it's seagulls, though, not, woodpeckers.
Where were the seagulls for this town?
Which town?
For
For Argentina?
Elko.
Oh, for Elko?
Too far inland.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe they just smell so rotten that nobody wants them. Or maybe the beetles were such a nuisance that nobody even noticed all the birds trying to take care of it.
But if you met seagulls, they're trash birds. You know, they don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
Well, guys, thanks for playing that game with me. I hope you had fun.
It's very good.
Let the record show that you failed to stump Nicole.
Ooh,
Stumping
dang.
me.
That's true.
Stumping me, that's barely a challenge. Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
But you didn't get Nicole.
Good job, Nicole. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I knew you could do it.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, which one of you is next?
I'll go next. So mine are a little bit more simple. But
Good.
also, I'm hoping that, like, in their simplicity, that maybe that will kind of stump you. Because then you start thinking about it too much and you're like, oh no. You know, that kind of a thing. So, Two Truths and a Lie, Bird Edition. I was going to do avian biology, but then I realized that that's too hard and I don't know anything about avian biology and I would have had to teach myself, and also that Rachel knows too much about avian biology.
That is a topic that I love.
Yeah, which is why I wanted to stump you on it, but then I was like, this is too much. So yeah, just a fun fact about how we came to what we did come to, which is like bird record holders.
Oh,
Love it.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I feel like these are like fun facts that people either get really wrong a lot of times or that like everyone wants to know. So I just thought it'd be fun. Number 1.
You're already laughing.
I know.
This one's a lie, guys.
I still haven't decided which one to even say first yet. And I'm already laughing, so it means nothing.
I don't know. Nice try.
Number 1. The record for longest non-stop flight is held by a bar-tailed godwit.
That's true.
Was about 8,400 miles.
8,400. Oh, God. Dang it.
Or 13,500 kilometers.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Go
That
ahead.
is true, though. That's 100%
Yeah, that's true.
true.
That's 100%
Yeah.
true. That's species. I don't know if the miles are, if she like tweaked the numbers and that's
If she's trying to get you on a
technicality.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. She was really worried about that with mine, which makes me think that she's doing that to us.
No, that is 100% true. They fly so long that they end up catabolizing their muscles
Yeah.
to hydrate. Because if they just don't stop. It's like, what, 14 days or something straight
It's
they
something
fly?
insane. Yeah.
Nuts. All right, Nicole.
Pretty high altitude too. Yeah. Okay, Nicole,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay. Number 2. With more than 400 species, the tyrant flycatchers are the most diverse family of birds in the world.
Oh, hold on.
Hang on.
What does this mean?
Also, didn't we just talk about like 400 species of hummingbirds?
I mean, there's a lot of hummingbirds. But, like, okay, so we're saying you're saying that Tyrannidae
Yes.
as a family
Yes.
is the most, has the largest number of species.
Yes. In the world.
I actually don't know if
I don't
that's
know
true
either.
or not.
Well, and it's families, right?
Talking family.
Yeah. Not like genuses or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
I feel like there are probably a lot of species,
Mm-hmm.
but that I feel like there's probably other more diverse bird groups that have more species than that.
Yeah, it gets difficult for me, I think, when we're thinking globally, because there
Yeah.
are a lot of I mean, like, for example, like the difference between like, okay, you know, we might get locked into like our American perspective, like hummingbirds, like there's not that many hummingbirds, right? But it's like, oh, there is a lot of hummingbirds, right? So it's hard to say because globally, I don't know. I'm honestly kind of bad with global birds, probably.
Yeah, and I'm trying to rack my brain over whether there are tyrant flycatchers that live outside of the Americas. Because there could be that like a high enough diversity to make that true in just the Americas, but if they are also, if that specific family exists in like Africa or other parts of the world, that would make it also feel like possibly more true. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think this one's probably fake, but we're gonna see what the last one is.
Interesting. All right.
See the simplicity.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3. Reaching sprinting speeds of 34 miles an hour.
Sprinting
Speeds of 34 miles an hour, 54 kilometers. The greater roadrunner is in fact the fastest running bird.
Interesting.
That also, I don't know.
How is it possible that it could cover more ground than like an ostrich?
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that like is a 45 mile per hour bird, right?
An ostrich with the size and strength of its legs almost certainly has to be faster on the ground. I would be
Right.
shocked if it wasn't.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm going. Roadrunners are just too tiny.
They're so little.
Yeah, to be able to outrun a bigger species.
Like, you ever seen a roadrunner run?
Yeah,
it's
they're
very
fast.
diddly-dee-dee-dee. Yeah. It's not like, ka-thumpa, thumpa, thumpa, like an ostrich,
Are we basically just mimicking the Roadrunner sound effects of the Wile E. Coyote cartoon?
Well,
Okay.
Okay,
I think the second one is a lie.
Okay.
yeah.
And I locked in, so now if you want to be different, you have to change your answer, and I'm going to be right.
No, that one. But okay, I'm also considering. Did Nicole give us 3 true facts to ensure that we'd be wrong by assuming that one is the lie?
Well, if she did, she's breaking the rules, and we can't be held accountable for not knowing.
But this is Nicole we're talking about, though, and it's more important to her that she wins.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
No, because I feel like, okay, surely there's more sandpipers in the world than tyrant flycatchers or, hummingbirds
right?
or something.
Or even warblers or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, there might be multiple families of warblers, though. That's like the thing but there also might be multiple families of flycatchers.
Yeah, family, not.
I'm just not, globally, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is the one it's difficult for me to parse out, so I'm just going to say it's not true. The world of birds has to be more confusing and perplexing than that.
Okay. Nicole, we're locked in. How did we do?
Okay. Well, I will say that yes, you are correct that the bar-tailed godwit has the longest nonstop migration. It was just recently set that the 8,400 miles was just recently set by a 5-month-old bird. He, as far as we know, because the adults leave before the young ones.
Yeah.
So he did that all by himself. He was like, "I got this, guys!" Like he knew exactly what he was doing. It only took him 11 days to fly all the way from Alaska to Tasmania.
For a hatchier bird,
Yeah.
migrating solo. And that's another thing that's wild about bar-tailed godwits, because that's they're a good case study for the genetic component of migration. Because like you said, the parents leave before. How does this bird know how to get to Tasmania? How does it know where it's going whatsoever? Fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Absolutely wild.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, for real. In the 2 previous records for longest non-start flight was also godwits, but it was the same bird. He beat his own record 2 years in a row. So
Godwits just out here competing with godwits.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you can't touch them.
No, no. Do you guys know the longest migration of any animal
Arctic
or bird?
terns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Arctic terns have the longest migration of 22,000 miles round trip. That's what I was going to say. I was year round. I guess it kind of works, but round trip was the words I was actually looking for.
Transpolar.
Yes. Arctic to Antarctic. Yeah. What a good bird.
What a good bird.
Very dear to me. Love that bird.
They're very screamy.
Oh, I know. I've almost been killed by one.
That is a true fact.
That's a true fact, yeah.
Okay. And then the one you guys both locked in on,
Oh no, shut up. Stop.
It's true.
It's true.
No!
We should have listened to our gut with the ostrich. Dang it. All right.
We did listen to our gut. Our gut said the ostriches are faster.
Yeah, making the third one the lie.
Yeah.
You said that the Roadrunner was the fastest.
Yes.
Which is
And
a lie.
which is a lie because ostriches are faster.
We had it right, Rachel.
Oh, I think that was just a basic brain comprehension
Yep,
issue on my end.
I think we
I was
messed,
like,
I think we messed up.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I think we out loud said that wasn't true and then picked the second one anyway.
I was surprised. I was like, okay, well.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened.
We Wile E. Coyote'd ourselves there.
Yep.
Mhm.
Let's get the lie out of the way since we're back on that.
How did we say that was definitely untrue and then pick a different answer?
I don't know. We really shot ourselves in the foot there. Okay, go ahead.
a little bit.
Well, I think we both got it right in our hearts.
That's right. It's what we said. We
But
said
then you
it out loud.
said you said afterwards that
You know
the other
what?
one was definitely a
We don't have
lie.
to lock in our answer. Like the point is, we on an intellectual level knew what we were doing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. There's 2 lies in here. Not only is the Roadrunner not the fastest bird, but they only run 25 miles an hour, not 34. I just wanted a bigger number so you would second guess yourself with the ostrich thing.
Yeah, 25 miles an hour. That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So
No.
I found
Humans can run faster than that.
barely.
But still.
We have longer legs though. So.
Yeah. If you
Okay. Well,
if you scaled up a greater Roadrunner to human
Oh
size,
God.
they would run over 60 miles an hour.
that's pretty fun. Yeah.
So therefore they would be the fastest bird.
Yeah. Now
By
I'm
far.
impressed. Now I'm impressed.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Also,
Horrifying.
they are the fastest bird that can also fly. So that they got that going for them,
Okay. Yeah, fair.
which is pretty good.
Fair.
Which we probably knew on a deep level, and that's why we went with the second one as our answer. Just kidding.
They also are really good jumpers. I found multiple videos of greater roadrunners visiting hummingbird feeders, jumping up and snatching the hummingbirds out of the air and eating them.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
They're great hunters.
Poor hummingbirds.
Aw.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like roadrunners because they steal the hummingbirds from people's feeders. So
Put your feeders higher. Higher.
Yeah, put your feeders higher.
they can jump like 10 feet off the ground. So
Put your feeders are real high.
what's too high for a hummingbird?
There probably is a preferred
Like,
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preferred height.
It might be over 10 feet. It's too high for them.
Just put like a giant like baffle, like you would for squirrels.
Yes.
Just put a huge baffle so the roadrunner just like bonks up on it when he tries to grab a hummingbird.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Simple solutions.
Simple solutions.
For simple problems.
Yes, yes. But yeah, so roadrunners are not the fastest birds. Ostriches definitely are at 43 miles an hour. And
43.
you said 45, so yeah, very close.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Let the record show that again, we did say all of this out loud.
you did say all of this out
We
loud.
said all of this was our exact thought process to the word. And we still got it wrong. That's what I'm saying. Stumping me doesn't mean anything, okay? That's not myself.
I don't feel like I was stumped really because
It's true. No,
You talked yourself into that answer, though.
Rachel's credibility remains intact. I think.
thank you. Thank you.
Oh gosh. But the one that was true, and you guys picked with tyrant flycatchers being the most diverse family of birds is in fact true. There are currently described 441 species of tyrant flycatchers. Other large families include tanagers at 382.
Yeah.
Hummingbirds at 363. Doves and pigeons at 353, which surprised me. I knew there was a lot of different
Interesting.
kinds
Yeah.
of doves and pigeons, but not that many. And then the old world flycatchers at 345.
Okay. So they are a
Impressive.
different group.
Yes.
Impressive, yeah.
Wow. Good job, birds.
Yeah.
That is really interesting about doves and pigeons.
Yeah.
I mean, we only have like a few pretty ubiquitous species, like in the United States. I feel like.
I guess worldwide they're all in the same group. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And just for funsies, does anybody know how many total species of birds there are?
Nope.
I want to say it is, and the number may have gone up because like they still discover new birds.
Yeah.
I want to say the number is like 12,000 species worldwide.
Would you like to guess?
That's close to what I would say is over 10,000.
Yeah. Just over 10,000
Just over 10. Okay.
species currently described. With those hot spots being in South America, as we've talked about.
Yeah.
Specifically, countries with the most species of birds are going to be Colombia, Peru, and Brazil, with all over 1,800 species each. South America has about 3,400 species of birds, which is a third of all species. So it is definitely a hot spot.
Wow.
So good.
Oh,
That's where most of those tanagers are too.
Yeah.
Love that for you, South America. All right.
Well, Alan,
We're going to take things in a little bit different direction now.
perfect.
With this game, we're going to play bird or bug. Okay. Now, this sounds very dumb, and it is very dumb, but this is the premise. I'm going to describe to you elements of the life history of an animal. There will be some key information missing. I will need you to tell me if you think this animal is a bird or a bug. How
I
could this
can't
possibly,
This is going to be good.
I'm
All
so
right.
excited.
Number 1. Males and females of this species often congregate around carcasses in open grassland. The carcasses it seeks out are often mammals that may weigh 200 times the weight of the adults of this species. The adults construct nests near these carcasses in a burrow. One parent, typically the female, remains with the eggs, then feeds and cares for the young after hatching. Adults and young disperse from the nest together around 48 days after eggs are laid.
Okay.
Walk me through your thought process.
My first thought was, this is obviously a carrion beetle. My second thought was, that's why it's probably a bird. But I can't think of any carcass-eating birds that burrow.
Yeah.
So.
I had very similar thought process. I know that a lot of carrion beetles do care for their young quite well. I'm still just going to go with bug, though.
I'm also going to go with bug. I think it's a carrion beetle.
Very good. It is a bug. Nice job. I was hoping that the parental care aspect would throw you a bit, but Nicole,
I know
very
bugs.
good job.
Yeah.
And knowing that carrion beetles, this was specifically the American burying beetle
Yeah.
that I was telling you about. Yeah, they do a very good job of rearing their young.
Yeah.
It's a bit unusual, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah.
Like 200 times the body size. I was like, that could be
Could be a
a
bird.
small
Yeah.
beetle with a small carcass or
Yeah.
bird with a big carcass.
Yeah.
Right? Because
No, yeah.
they're definitely deer that weigh 200 times what like
Oh, yes.
a bird does. Yeah,
Oh,
so,
yes.
yes.
No, yeah. No, every single fact, I was like, okay, could be bird or bug. Could be bird or bug. Like, no, that was good. That
That's
was good.
the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This species is a ground-based ambush predator in the African savanna. It captures prey using remarkably elongated legs. It strikes violently, hitting with a force equal to 5.4 times their body weight from a complete standstill. Due to their lack of vascularized tissues, they have a well-documented resistance to toxins. And it has a strong association with thorny acacia trees. I ask you, is this a bird or a bug?
Are you smiling because you know what this is?
I think I know what it is.
I think it's a bug. The vascularized tissue is getting me, and I'm thinking that this is probably some sort of insect.
Okay. Nicole?
I'm leaning towards bird.
Oh no! Is it a freaking ostrich?
There's a lot of birds that love to kick things. And there's a lot of birds that are good at like resisting like venoms from like rattlesnakes and stuff.
True. But like bugs probably have less vascularized tissue than birds do.
Yeah. Which makes it feel too obvious.
See, but you expect a bird to use an elongated limb to like attack and ambush its prey.
Yeah.
I'm going with bug.
Nicole?
I'm sticking with bird.
Nicole, you're 2 for 2. That is a
Nice.
bird.
Hell yeah.
I did manage to get you with that tissue thing.
Uh-huh.
That is specifically, we're talking about the secretary bird.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So obviously very long-legged. Nicole, as you also mentioned exactly correctly, they are strong kickers. They really kick their prey to death. With a lot of force, like a remarkable amount of force. I read this paper that was talking about, like the strike force of birds. And like, they're like, okay, well, technically barn owls strike with 14% or 14 times their body weight, but that's because they're diving at a high speed. And it's like secretary birds strike with, more than 5 times their body weight just from standing, which is a lot.
That's
a lot.
impressive.
Pow, like they just like launch that leg out. And you're right, like secretary birds are famous for eating snakes, including very venomous snakes in Africa, adders and cobras and things like that. They do actually have that lack of vascularized tissues that helps them out. Their legs are almost entirely tendon. There's not a lot going on there. So when they get bit on their very scaly, wiry legs, there's just the venom does not, it does not disperse through the body in a significant way. Yes, beautiful bird. There's a fun diagram from that paper.
Oh, look at it.
Yes.
It's doing a great job.
Also says it uses its wings for distraction, which I think is interesting.
Visual distraction.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Beautiful bird.
What a great bird. Is this like the mantis shrimp of the bird world? Is that what we're learning?
Yeah, it reminds me of that. Yeah. Like, fast, like mantis shrimp punch so fast, they like boil water around their
Make a little
their
sonic
claw.
boom.
Sonic boom. All right.
Keeping them in aquariums is dangerous.
To say the
Oh, yeah,
least.
they like shatter the glass.
Don't put a secretary bird in an aquarium either.
I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
Pow.
They that study where they were measuring the strike force was based on like a couple secretary birds, primarily one that had been trained at a zoo as part of like its like public display. They would have a rubber snake and they would zip through the enclosure so they could watch, like people could watch this secretary bird like nail that thing. So that's the one they use to like measure the pressure and things like that.
That's awesome.
Fun stuff. What, science is fun. Okay. All right. Moving on to our next round of bird or bug.
This game is fun.
This is a West African species that prefers wet savanna. It is a prolific pollinator, most often found hovering in groups near flowering trees, landing on flowers that have angled specifically to allow nectar access in such a way that they collect pollen on their feet. They have a colorful metallic exterior with rich purple, steel blue, and gold green pigmentation. They often gravitate towards oil palms. They're often seen trying to get beneath the bark to access sap. And though it primarily feeds on nectar, it will take termites and winged ants in the air. Is this a bird or a bug?
I was feeling like it could go either way in the beginning. But the other food sources listed at the end make me feel like it's a bird.
Yeah. It's probably a hummingbird. I think.
I was thinking it could be a parrot.
Oh, okay.
But then the bugs thing made me think it's maybe some other, like a honey eater or something. I don't know.
Yes, honey eaters. I am leaning more towards bird because of the other food sources.
Yeah.
But this could be another tricky Alan thing.
It was so specifically worded, like all the metallic colors could easily be a beetle or something, insect-like.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's the point.
You're doing a great job.
And it's like collecting pollen on the feet too. Like that feels so much more bug-like than bird-like. But I have such a hard time imagining a bug catching other bugs on the wing as an alternate food source. But I can also picture them like crawling under the bark of trees. Anyway, I think it's a bird.
I'm trying to think of what kind of flower did they visit? They like palm trees?
They do like oil palms. I didn't mention what flowers they visit, though.
Okay.
They visit a variety.
Okay.
He did say trees as a significant source of flowers.
That's true. I said flowering trees.
Birds. Don't let me. Yeah,
No, I know. I just want to be 3 for 3.
Give us your thought process.
I mean, it was very similar to yours where, the food source really threw me off. And the metallic colors is obviously trying to sway us towards bugs.
I thought it was trying to sway us toward birds.
Oh.
This is the difference between you two. All right.
I'm going to go bug.
Oh, Nicole. If only. This is indeed a bird.
Okay.
And
was just
Rachel,
like-
you were getting very close with a honey eater. This is actually a species of sunbird. This is the splendid sunbird that we're talking about. Take a look at that thing.
It's so pretty.
That's gorgeous, yeah.
So hummingbird-like.
Yes, they've got a long decurved bill that lets them get into long tubular flowers, not unlike a hummingbird. And they are a significant pollinator in Western Africa. I know we don't typically think about birds as being significant pollinators in North America, but in this part of the world, they definitely are. There was a study looking at sunbirds specifically, where they raised tea trees, golden flowered tea trees, both in the wild or like outdoors and in a area where birds were excluded. And they found that there was a 64% reduction in flower and fruit on tea trees that did not have access to sunbirds. So
Dang, that's cool.
That's significant. That's a lot. Yeah. These birds also love to hang out near palm trees that get slashed to make palm wine. They have, this is an interesting fun fact, they have a complicated and varied song, which birds of the world described as sounding like, "Oh, what a splendid bird I am." But there's also like a lot of dialect variations with these birds, to where birds of the same species would have different songs, despite being as close to each other as 40 meters.
Wow.
Thanks.
Interesting. And also sunbirds, just in general, make these pouch nests, and they look ridiculous when they're in them.
Look at her.
That's pretty cute.
Little head sticking out of the hole.
Yeah, pretty
Adorable.
cute.
What good birds.
Wonderful.
Are they in their own group?
Sunbirds? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're. I didn't actually look too hard at the taxonomy, but yeah, they're like a separate little like family. I think
That's cool.
Yeah.
They kind of look like a cross between woodpeckers and hummingbirds.
they do. Yeah, which makes sense based on how they act. Yeah.
That's so
A
cool.
little convergent evolution there, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay, let's go our last round of bird versus bug.
This might decide
Bird
if one
or
of us
bug.
wins.
That's true.
Yeah.
You guys are tied right now, aren't you?
Yeah. That was risky doing an even number.
All right. Well, maybe I'll come up with something on the fly here.
Oh my
If
gosh.
we need a tiebreaker. This wide distributed species is found on 6 of 7 continents. They feed largely on aquatic insects, tadpoles, and small shrimp. Large groups of these animals can be seen gaining altitude by taking advantage of thermals. They are a high-altitude migrant clocked at 6,200 meters in the Himalayas. They are also a nonstop transoceanic migrant, making a nonstop flight of over 2,500 kilometers from India to Somalia, according to radio transmitter data. I ask you, is this a bird or a bug?
I'm going to let Nicole describe her thought process first.
So you can cheat off me?
No, because I've been stealing it the last couple.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I mean, impulse, birds, because ridiculous facts. But I do know that, like, dragonflies in particular do have, like, very long flights over open ocean. I don't know the distribution of dragonflies, though. So I don't know if they're on every continent. Is the only thing that's holding me back from this is probably a dragonfly.
I had the exact same thought process. I swear I'm not trying to copy off you, but I was like, okay, like the predatory behavior of eating tadpoles and things like that feels very dragonfly.
Yeah.
And then the Himalayas comment threw me off, and I was like, well, I think only birds can do that. And then I thought, well, that's probably why Alan would try to trick us because he knows we would think that. And there's probably like an unsung hero of migration out there that birds just rip the spotlight away from, and it would have to be like a dragonfly or something, so that fits that same profile.
Yeah.
And also, would Alan pick 3 birds? There's a little bit of that like test taker mentality here too, you know, of like, wouldn't he try to make it even?
Would I?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What was the elevation of the flight?
6,200 meters, which is like 20,000 feet, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good grief. Do dragonflies even have the equipment to be able to filter like oxygen out of the air at that level?
I mean, they don't need that much.
For some reason, this feels like the hardest one.
Yeah.
It's working.
Okay, hang on. Nope, never mind. Wait, say the beginning part again.
Widely distributed species found on 6 of 7 continents. They feed largely on aquatic insects, tadpoles, and small shrimp. Large groups of these animals can be seen gaining altitude by taking advantage of thermals. They're a high-altitude migrant, clocked at 6,200 meters in the Himalayas, and they're a non-stop transoceanic migrant.
Ugh, this is so hard because it could all be a bird or a bug.
That's the point of the game.
I'm just gonna lock in bug.
All right.
Someone's got to lock in.
I'm gonna lock in bird. I feel like I might be wrong, but I'm gonna go for bird.
Okay.
Rachel, you should have trusted your gut. It was a bug.
Yeah.
That's okay. That makes Nicole our winner. That is indeed a bug. That is describing the wandering glider, which is a species of dragonfly. Correct, Nicole. Very nice. It is, they are truly remarkable in not only the altitude they achieve, the places they fly, and the fact that they go nonstop over oceans. They actually have... this is just a weird fun fact. Excuse me. They actually have the largest the largest ratio of nonstop migration to body size of any animal. They fly consecutively 50.7 million body lengths. Okay, which is insane. That's an absurd way to measure something.
What a fun application of mathematics.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
50.7 million body lengths. So to put that in perspective, if myself as a 6-foot-tall human were to move 50 million body lengths, that would be 300 million feet. Okay. That would be 56,818 miles for me, which would be the distance, a distance equivalent of going around the equator twice.
That's insane.
And then a little bit more. So that is effectively, for the size that they are, that is the journey that they undertake nonstop. Would be like me circumnavigating the world twice.
Yes. See, you got to scale things up. It makes it so fun.
Yeah, right. Because it's hard to like really appreciate this stuff sometimes. Yeah. What a fascinating dragonfly. Also, widely distributed too. 6 to 7 continents. They truly adhere to that wandering part of their name.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Cool.
How many birds are actually that widely distributed?
Not
besides
very many.
barn owls?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know.
Swallows, barn swallows are pretty widely distributed, but I don't
That's
know that
true,
they're
yeah.
on every continent. I don't know if they're in Asia.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys had the right thought processes all throughout. We don't need a tiebreaker. So good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, a little birder bug action. I was going to
very
say,
good.
if we needed a tiebreaker, I was going to do 2 truths and a lie of fieldwork stories.
Oh gosh.
I thought about that when we talked about me getting almost killed by an Arctic tern. But that would be a fun game for another time.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, guys, what a successful episode of the Best Biome. Learned some neat stuff. What a good time. Thank you guys at home for listening to our podcast that we produce through our nonprofit Grassland Groupies. We couldn't do this without your support, so thank you so much. Doing a lot of cool things here at Grassland Groupies, so stay tuned, especially if you're in the Wichita area, for all the cool stuff we've got coming up this fall. And as far as the podcast, we will be back in another 2 weeks. Check out all of our stuff in the notes. Okay, bye. We love you.
Bye.
What an ending.
Thank you.